Dear younger me, I know you feel like you're lost in a world of dating, trying to navigate your way through the complex emotions and desires that come with it, but believe me, I've been there, which is why I'm here today to share some advice I would like to give to my younger self about dating. Let me tell you, there's so much, there's a lot that I wish I could go back and tell myself. When I was younger, I was an awkward and shy kid. I was never the most sociable and I wasn't really exceptional in anything other than perhaps for my ability to draw. But as I grew older, I started to gain more confidence in myself and my abilities. Looking back on my early experiences with dating, I can see that there were so many things that I wish I had known back then. So here are some of the key pieces of advice that I would give to my younger self. If you can improve one thing in your life, then you can definitely improve other areas as well. People tend to lack confidence far too often, and I see it all the time. Damn, you probably see it all the time. Or perhaps even when you look in the mirror in the morning. I know that I did. When I was younger, I used to lack confidence in so many areas. Man, physicality, looks, brains, whatever you can think of, I would have probably lacked confidence in. And look, I'm not saying that I was beating myself up over it, but it definitely had an effect on me socially and even when it comes to dating, or for clarification, trying to date. So people either feel like they are crap at a great many things or everything in their life and don't know where to start, or they realize that they're actually quite good at something and then spend all their energy on that one aspect of their life rather than think, man, if I was able to get better at this, surely I could get better at all those other things too. So my take is, if you can improve one thing in your life, then you can probably improve the rest too. My second piece of advice would be to be mindful of my relationships. You know what I'm talking about. When you're younger and you get caught up in the moment, it's easy to view people as disposable, especially when it comes to dating. But it's important to remember that everybody deserves respect and consideration. Don't just focus on what works in terms of hooking up with somebody. Take time to reflect on how you can improve your own personal interactions with others. Casual relationships and one-night stands are all nice and great. I mean, who doesn't like sex, right? But the thing is that once you get really good at having quick and disposable encounters, you will gradually become crap at actually having proper relationships. Everything is just a race rather than something that requires attention to detail, finesse and skill. Not to mention that at some point you will have to stop and think just how many good relationships you have wasted, that have slipped between the sheets, so to speak. All those wasted opportunities for learning and practice and becoming better when it comes to the nuances of interpersonal interactions with women that you could have learned along the way, but you just let it slip. One thing you learn as you get older is that despite of what you think, people don't really give a shit about you, or at least not to such a degree as you think when you're in your early 20s. People aren't as judgmental as we often think they are. We can be our own worst critics. But it's important to remember that most people aren't paying nearly as much attention to us as we might think. If we approach situations with a positive mindset, we can often achieve much more than we would have ever thought possible. Everything is about mindset and attitude, just like confidence. Once you exude it, and no, I'm not talking about arrogance, other people will actually believe that you are confident, whether it's true or not. Where do you think fake it till you make it actually comes from? Next, I would urge my younger self not to drag out relationships that I wasn't interested in maintaining. And it can be tempting to try to let somebody down easy. So yeah, by all means, take your time, but really, are you doing it for them or just for yourself? Because no matter how easy you want to make it, a breakup is a breakup. And the longer you drag it on, the more hope you're giving to the person that things could change. Otherwise, just rip that band-aid off. Time is the one commodity that none of us can afford to waste, even though time and fitness are the things that we all have most of at that age. So unless you intentionally want to lead somebody on, complicate your own life, rip that band-aid off and be done with it. Don't be a selfish asshole. It's easy to get caught up in our own desires and forget that other people have feelings too. Feeling selfish or angry, chasing some deluded belief that you deserve something from others is bullshit. And it's not gonna get you anywhere. Nice people will always have more friends, more connections, and more acquaintances, more opportunities. So be a nice guy. Every new experience should be a learning opportunity. It's all good and easy to think just to take risks, trying new things, and yes, do all of that, but when it comes to relationships, if you want to get better, everything should be a learning opportunity. Look, whether we are hooking up with somebody or just chatting them up, we can always take something away from the interactions that will help you improve your future game. And as you know, game is a numbers game, but your odds will always depend on just how skilled you are. Now this one is a bit of a controversial one, and I cannot actually believe that this is something that I advise myself, but hear me out. I would caution my younger self not to have sex just for the sake of it. Sex can be an incredibly intimate and meaningful experience, but it should never be taken lightly. Not because sex cannot be fun or just a light-hearted experience, but because we should always strive to leave a lasting positive impact on ourselves and our partners. If you have sex as a guy, you will always enjoy sex. Let's not lie to ourselves. An experienced and fit guy can allow himself to come as quickly as he wants to or last as long as they want to. What I'm hinting at is experience. If you are to have sex frequently, make each encounter awesome for your own sake and for your partner's sake. If nothing, you won't be just one in a million. You're gonna be the special one. And you never know what it can actually lead to. Friends, threesomes, you never know. And if you don't have sex frequently, then make the most of it and hone those skills. And I guarantee you they will not only positively affect your confidence, but will most likely lead to a much better sex life in the long run. Now this is a simple one, just a reminder really that nervousness and stress are often self-induced. We can choose to approach situations with a positive mindset, which can make all the difference. I mean, do you ever pause and think, why the hell do I even stress? I mean, it's all me. Those things are happening in my head. I mean, it may seem like things can just happen without your control, but that is still you. So take the reins and control it. Number 9, I would advise myself to be open to new experiences and new people. Sometimes we get so caught up in our own expectations and standards that we miss out on all the amazing opportunities that are right in front of us. Finally, I would encourage my younger self to reflect on my own standards and game rather than trying to find fault with others. This is something that so many people do. It's easy to blame other people when things don't go our way, but ultimately we are in control of our own lives and our own happiness. Don't you think?